Can I please?
Yep, music loud, no voice. Oh no.
I would like one day to know some peace and not have audio issues.
Well, you know what'll make us feel worse? You know what'll make us feel even worse? Math. Are we smarter than a 5th grader?
Probably not.
Grab a pencil and a piece of paper. I'm eating a breakfast burrito bowl. I can't use a pencil or a piece of paper right now.
Yeah.
But I'm almost done, so give me a second.
It's okay. So, the first 8 minutes of that was silent.
Nosferatu was a silent movie back in the day, and it did great. So y'all will just never know about mic issues or Office butthole staying. Because we don't have time, because this is a shorter episode today.
Yeah, because we have to be
I got
done.
stuff to do.
Hold on, I'm gonna set an alarm
Places to go, people to do.
for 3:30
Grazie.
so that we know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? No, I don't even know if my mic's working or not. Apparently. I don't know why it disconnected.
We used to do a 1, 2, 3 testing before, you know, hopping into stream every time. We should start doing that.
We should start doing that again.
Is it just jumping right into the deep end?
Because we keep drowning. And by we, I mean me. I keep drowning. The bubbles are popping and no one's coming up.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Let's get started, y'all.
Alright. Are we, Bugs Bunny, we, smarter than a 5th grader? Can our collective brain cell, singular, answer questions that any 11-year-old should be able to answer?
I feel like you're gonna do better at this than me because you're like around kids.
I'm around 5-year-olds.
I've met some pretty clever 5-year-olds.
I have too, but they don't know what. In art the other day, we were asked, what are some other countries that have different cultures? And someone said California.
Yeah, I guess.
Different culture, same country.
I was gonna say, different culture, yes, same country. He a little confused, but he got the right idea.
Kind of. We were looking for China, Japan, Mexico,
Not in this school.
Canada.
Not in this current geopolitical climate.
True. Oh gosh, it's gotten so bad. Oh, I have a video to show you later from the New York Times. Actually,
I like
I was shook it. Anyway, let's continue.
Let's do this thing. I'm really
Step 1.
scared.
General studies.
Okay.
So I have a quiz for us. For us. We're gonna take these together. It is going to be a collective brain cell grade.
Okay.
Some of them we might do twice and you do, I do, but I think mostly we're gonna just do them together.
Okay.
So I found actually from Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? Pulled it from there. Oh, that was
really
a horrid
sorry, guys.
sound.
I'm trying to cut breakfast burrito.
Okay.
In a bowl.
From the Washington Times. Okay. There's 23 questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
And I already know the answer to this first one, so that's good.
All right. Question 1. How many cups are in 28 fluid ounces?
I think it's 3.5.
I believe so.
And I'm not sure
Because
how my work.
it's-
It just feels right.
8 ounces per cup. And then 3 times 8 is 24.
So
4.
3.5.
3.5. Hey, yay! I vividly remember one time I was trying to figure out something similar to this, and I only said half the sentence. And you were in the other room, very confused.
I also remember this.
What did I say?
You said how many cups are ounces or something like that, and I was like,
What?
is this the Tower of Babel? Like, are you trying to get to God and he's just cursed you? What is happening? I'm so confused. You tweeted about it, so if you
We
just hop on
did.
Twitter.
Yeah, I should do that later.
Either that or I put it on my Tumblr.
I think you put it on your Tumblr. What white puffy clouds are known as fair weather clouds? Cumulus, cumulonimbus,
Cumulonimbus.
Cumulo, nimbus, stratus.
I think it's either stratus or cumulus. I think it's stratus.
I think it's stratus. I think the fluffy ones are the stratus.
Oh, it is cumulus. Darn
Cumulus.
it. Sorry. Cumulonimbus is storm clouds.
Yeah. Which, okay, I
Stratus,
think
though. Okay. Stratus are pretty. Those are the stripy
The
ones.
stripy ones.
That
And then cumulus is the
conspiracy
fluffy ones.
theorists will try to tell you is the government trying to poison our water supply.
Yeah. Next question. Between 1455 and 1485, the War of the Roses took place in what country?
England, France, or Germany?
England, France, Germany.
Well, France is always like fighting crap.
Yeah. War of the Roses?
1492. I think it's England.
I think so
I
too.
think it is England because
Calling it the War of the Roses is
Very
a very
British.
British thing to do.
yeah, France it would be like the War of the Cheese or something.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Look at us.
Oh.
Higher ed harassment.
Okay.
So like, what are we doing? Are we just like picking on teachers?
No. A common type of radio wave is referred to as VHF. What do the letters VHF stand for?
Very high frequency.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
I love humans. It's a very high frequency. What should we call it?
VHF.
VHF.
Mm-hmm.
Done. Done. If Tres is facing north and turns 90 degrees to his right, he is now facing east.
East. Mm-hmm.
East? I thought you said west.
That's West Patrick. You're fired again.
The classic Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, The Real Princess, is better known as The Princess and the Pea. Because she sleeps on the 12 mattresses.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that yesterday when we were flipping my mattress.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Which word contains a long vowel sound in the following sentence? Dogs like tennis balls. Do you remember
Like.
the difference? Yes.
Yep, it's like.
I, for the longest time, could not remember the difference.
Mm.
And it's when you have the silent E. It says its
just
name.
Well, you know, all vowels have a long and a short.
Mhm.
So there's a and there's a. And the
Yeah.
long is the harsher of the two.
Yeah. Which is funny because the long, you can say ah for a long time and a is very short,
I guess you could think about it there.
but it's opposite. Okay. Budapest is the capital of what European country?
It's Hungary.
Hungary?
Miles from Budapest, my nights and treasure. It might be Portugal.
I think it's one of these. I don't think it's Austria.
Let's try Hungary. Why not?
Hungary.
Oh, look at that. Thank you.
I'm so bad at like geography. All right, now a National Historical Park. What site was headquarters for George Washington's army in the winter of 1777 to 78?
I think it's Valley Forge.
Valley Forge.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Thank you.
Stop giving me the higher ed harassment.
I'm not gonna pick on the teachers. They go through enough.
What is the simple predicate in the following sentence?
Taylor?
Taylor? What? Who spells it like that?
Taylor.
Taylor body slammed her opponent.
She's Australian. Taylor.
The simple predicate would be just the verb, so body
Body
slam.
slam.
Wow.
No, don't body slam your opponent. I love Australian people, please.
By definition, a prism is a solid figure that has how many congruent bases?
4.
Four.
Wait,
Bases?
bases?
A prism.
All I can think about is Pink Floyd. Crystal. It's a crystal.
Crystal.
What is it? A gift.
It's either 2 or 4.
Watch it be 6. I don't know this one. By
I think,
definition, a prism is a solid figure.
I think
that
it's
has how many
2.
congruent bases.
I think it's 2.
Flat on top, flat on bottom.
Yeah.
All I could think about is the opening, the OP for the second season of Fruits Basket is also called Prism, and it's a good song.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Because, okay, wait. Would a cylinder be considered a prism?
Sure.
So that one would have 2.
I thought that a prism was a shape that refracts light.
Yeah. So it needs to
And
be
you
a
can
solid
reflect light,
figure.
reflect light through a cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
So you need
2.
at least 2, if not more.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, smart.
Yes. Because I don't think a sphere is a prism.
Yeah.
Sphere. In 1821, Moses and Stephen Austin received 18,000 acres of land in what would become what U.S. state?
Oklahoma. I don't know. 18.
Moses makes me think Utah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Moses,
Oh,
but
Texas.
Austin makes
Texas.
yeah.
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah. What the heck? Oh yeah.
Nice. Yes.
Mm.
And honestly, I have no idea what 18,000 acres looks like. So maybe that is.
I was also thinking
big
that's
as Texas.
huge, and Texas is a big state.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. I have no concept of what an acre is.
It's a big of land.
Which of the following is a homophone for the word one?
Don't you know you're not allowed to be that under the current administration? O-N-E.
One, as in the number. If you take the square root of 16 and add it to the square root of 9, so 4 plus 3 is 7, then the answer you get is the square root of what number? 49.
Look at us.
Math. Quick math. Mexico is bordered on the south by Belize and what other Central American country?
Guatemala.
Guatemala?
I think
Is that one
so.
the top
I
highest
don't know.
up?
I'm probably wrong.
No, you're good. I was like, I know Guatemala is up high. I'm just like, okay, where's everything?
Yeah.
Locations, positions. All right. Which of the following is the scientific term for an organism that makes its food from inorganic materials? Autotroph.
Autotroph.
Because it's auto. Like
Oh,
it's
auto.
auto, like self.
Look at that.
Yes.
It's like a car.
Yeah. Kinda. When paired with a helping verb like have or has, the word go turns into the word. What word in past tense?
Gone.
Have gone, has gone.
Yep.
Which of the following words can be used as an adjective?
Smooth.
Smooth.
Smooth like Betty White. No, not
I bet you right. Round the number 350 to the nearest 100.
400. See, this is the kind of math I can get behind.
You're not gonna like the math later.
I'm so scared.
What is the correct spelling for the system built to carry water?
Aqueduct.
Is it aqua or eque? I know it's not that one. It definitely has a Q.
I think it's A.
A or E?
Aqua. A is the Latin root. Aqua. Oh, I was wrong.
Eque?
Aqueduct. Okay.
Eque.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
Okay. Okay,
Interesting.
Latin. Okay, Latin. Get my ass. beat me up.
Oh. All right. Which of the Which of these rivers lies entirely within the U.S.? Mississippi.
It's Mississippi, yeah.
The Mississippi.
Because I think the Colorado and the Yukon both touch Canada.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Mississippi.
MISSI.
If Kevin plans on visiting the 3 tallest mountains in the world, what continent will he be visiting?
Asia. Good.
What?
Godspeed, Kevin.
Godspeed, Kevin. I believe in you. Please wear protective gear.
Stay warm.
Stay warm. What month is named for the Roman god of war? The Roman god is March. Yes.
Yeah.
Rome god.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to.
Congrats! Yay!
We got
21 out of 23. That's not bad at all.
That's not bad. The 95th percentile. Nice. So that's an A.
That's an A. That's
Yeah.
a 95th percentile. That's. Hang on, let me get you. Let me get you the thing.
Just 21 out of 23.
We got 91%.
91%. That's an A.
We're doing pretty gosh darn good.
All right. All right.
That's pretty good.
I need. What do I need? All right.
We can't round it up to 92. It's just a solid 91.
Yeah. Oh, this is 5th grade. We get letters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's an A.
A.
A. Woo! Wee! Bing! All right.
Alrighty.
Next is math.
I'm glad we're doing this early.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna do this first so we can get out of the way.
So that I can get out of the way. Because my brain, it's like an old car. It's gotta, warm up, and then it has, a prime time, and then if it runs too long, it's like, oh.
All right.
Speed test? What
Yes.
is wrong with you?
So this is what we're gonna do. Let me grab a die.
We're not bouncing it back and forth on this one.
No.
Thank
This is-
goodness.
okay, because it's
that's
1 through
the
12. We're not
distinct.
doing all 1 through 12. We're gonna each roll the d12, and that's what we're gonna get.
Okay.
So we could get lucky and get 1, or we can get unlucky and get 12.
With this grades?
No, this is
Difficulty.
1 timetables for 1, timetables for 2, 2 times whatever, 3 times whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got
8.
8. Oh, this is hard. This is
Okay.
brutal.
Do you want to
Okay.
do 8 and then another one, or just do them, throw them both in there?
I don't understand what you're asking.
So you can click multiple.
Oh, sure. Let's click multiple.
You're done.
Lifting it up
For the
straight. Lifting it up
podcast.
straight. 1. Oh, that's nice.
Alright, do you want to just do 2 or do you want to do 4?
Let's do a third one because 1 is such a gimme.
Yeah.
2.
2.
Wow, thank you,
All right.
Lord.
Ready?
Yes. Okay, I gotta lock in.
Start.
1.
0.
90.
14. 40.
40. Yes. Yes. Yes.
9.
A moose.
Moose.
20.
20.
A goat.
48.
48.
Where's the 5? I need a number pad.
You
12.
don't have a number plan?
Not on
I
this
wasn't
one.
even looking. I was looking at your keyboard. 6.
6.
8. A frog.
Frog. 12.
1.
16.
Cat.
Kitty. 5.
1 was a good one. That's good.
8. 18.
I'm glad we did 1 because it's a little break. 11. Second.
16. It's like a palate cleanser. 4.
Like a reward.
It's like a reward.
22.
Cute.
Thank you.
That is 32. I was like, where are the numbers?
Now. Yay!
Average speed 1.72 seconds.
Do you want to go crazy? Just put all of them in 1?
Yes.
Yeah, let's just put all of them in 1. I'm feeling a little bit more confident. We did not bad at all at that.
Yeah, it's relatively easy. Yeah, it's just the timed element.
Yeah.
Yep, I added. Wow. 21.
21.
21.
Can you do
18.
something for me? It's for
33.
Get that white man off of my computer screen. 22. Oh wait,
21.
no. 121. Whoa.
I see.
I added them.
Sometimes you look at it, you're like, add. That is
36.
36. 40.
I got the 5s down.
Yeah.
12. Oh, easy.
That is 36.
I feel like we got that one already.
Yeah, but it was probably
0.
the
Other way.
other way.
40.
40.
Cow.
66.
Do female cows have horns? 0.
I don't know.
Because that is a
Also, I just realized because we're using the numbers,
Gender
my
fluid, yeah.
my thing is gonna be going crazy. That is 48.
48.
Like, because I have both of my expressions built in to numbers.
Oh, gotcha.
So if I start crying or look angry or both,
it's just math. Baby.
it's just math.
Go.
That is
32.
yeah, 32. I was like 24. No. 77. 70.
Oh, in the 70s, what a comfortable place.
Mm-hmm.
3. Big.
Picky. Is 54.
54. Like mathematically
24.
constipated.
15.
10.
10.
Chicken.
Chicken. 88.
Duck. So cute.
That is.
I don't know this one.
The 84.
Woo!
Oh.
Butterfly.
Oh, 0. 36. 99.
0.
Negative.
18.
18.
12.
12. Be a lot faster if I was like writing it down.
7.
30. My gosh,
Negative 30.
stop. 30 negative. 30.
30 again. Oh,
Oh.
oh, 10. What are the odds of that happening? The mathematician. 8. Cat.
Get
9.
9. My gosh.
60.
60. 90. That is one. That's 90. Oh my gosh. 192?
180. 108.
108.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, what? Where was I getting a 9?
120.
Yeah.
That one I get too.
I was like, my brain fried for a second there.
Okay.
90.
10. I know that one.
Woo! 10.
18.
18. That is 56.
Yes. I liked 8 times 7 because 8, 7, 6 is good stuff.
5. 10.
So locked in 21.
21. 9.
20.
64.
Yes, sure.
Yes. 36. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Charlie XCX, calm down. 14.
8. 20. 66. As in order.
Woo! Okay, now let's get this. We didn't.
All right, we got all of them correct.
Correct.
And
oh, girl.
with an average of 2 seconds
per question. I'd say that's an A.
That's pretty good.
I'd say that's an A plus.
That's pretty good. All right, let me check my.
Is that all we're doing
face.
for math?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was the only thing I put up for math.
Oh, we're great. We're fine.
We're fine. We're cool.
We're so good. We're still good.
We're still good.
I was literally sweating leading up to this. I was worried.
Really?
Like, man, we're doing Smarter Than a 5th Grader, and there's gonna be math in there.
Yeah, no, we're just.
I've
we're
admitted
just
to the audience, I never memorized my times tables, and so I'm like in the grade that you're supposed to, and so it was something that I really struggled with for a long time.
It's okay.
Oh, here's my jam.
All right, so we have 2 different ones we could choose from. Oh, let me switch the. There we go. We have this one where we have 7 minutes to put them all on. Or we have this one where it gives us a random one and we have to locate it.
Let's do this one.
This one?
Oh, times? I mean, why the hell does this?
Well, it's time how long it takes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do this one. I can.
Okay.
Or do you want me to just point them all? Because I got this. We
We're
got.
gonna do this one.
Okay. Let's put
So
that
we're gonna
on.
do the geoguessr one.
I'm gonna squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll be pointing with my fingers.
Okay.
With the end of this paintbrush.
All right. We're gonna restart it and get going
Let's do it.
because it's. All right, Maryland.
That one is over there.
This one?
Wait. It's one of these little ones over here. I think it's that one, but I don't know. Maryland? Connecticut.
It's Connecticut.
Bitch. No.
This is Jersey.
Why the hell did it give us Maryland first? That's Rhode Island.
Is it one of these?
It might be that one. Just give it a try.
Delaware.
Delaware. Damn. That's New York. That's yeah, give it a try. Why not? Damn.
Oh, it's that one?
It's the scrungly ugly one. Maryland.
New Hampshire. That's over here too.
Damn, why are you giving us all the little ones?
All right, that was Delaware. That was Connecticut. Is this one New Hampshire?
No. I think it's one of those two. Yeah.
The
Oh my god.
Connecticut was that one.
That's
New
New York.
Arizona.
That's
Is
that
that
tiny
tiny
baby one.
West Virginia
this
is
frog.
the weird one. No,
That's this one.
this one.
Yep. That's
Indiana.
this one.
This one.
Mm-hmm. That one. That is
That's Wyoming.
this one.
This one.
Yep. That's the pencil looking one, like a broken pencil. Ooh,
Iowa. That's
it's
Illinois.
It's one of these. I think it's that one.
Yeah.
This one. Oh wait, no, it's this one. It's this one.
South Carolina.
Uh,
Idaho.
Texas.
Tejas. Washington.
Hoa. That's this one.
Minnesota. Michigan is the
There's that
hand.
one.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's that one.
Louisiana.
Louisiana's the little L. Mississippi's right above it, I think.
That was Alabama.
Oh,
That's
gee.
Alabama.
Kansas. Oh, my shoulder. I think it's this one.
This one. Kentucky is the
looks like a
chicken.
fried chicken.
Montana. South Dakota. Georgia.
You've been to that one. That's this one.
Yeah.
Arkansas. Oh, that's one of these two.
Missouri.
I think Missouri is that one.
Yeah,
Delaware was over here.
Wisconsin. Cheese. California. Nevada.
Massachusetts. Not that one. Nope. I think it's this one.
No, that's Ohio.
Oh, you're right.
Vermont.
Massachusetts. That's where they burned a bunch of people. Is it this little guy?
No, I just tried that one.
Oh.
That's Jersey. What's this one?
Oh, it might be that. Wait, no, that's Virginia because that's
South
North
Virginia.
Carolina. Tennessee. Can't remember what that one is.
Bama.
Bama. Florida. This is Ohio. Can't remember. Illinois is that one.
Illinois.
And then of course we've got.
Where is it?
Hello.
Hello?
It's got to be one of the tiny ones.
Is this it? It's Vermont.
Are you sure it's not that one? No.
Oh, now we have Vermont.
Oh.
This one? Florida. Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Maine.
Maine is the top.
Jersey.
is that fun one. Ohio. This one.
That one.
Is that
Illinois. Wyoming.
Hawaii's.
Hawaii.
Beautiful. Oregon.
Virginia. Alaska. Bama. New Mexico. Utah. North Carolina. Woo!
Look at us.
Got 91%. It took us 3 minutes.
How many out of how many did? Oh, it just gave us 91. Damn, we're stuck on that 91.
So we missed one, and we got a wrong guess first on one.
Okay.
That's not bad though.
That's not bad at all.
That's pretty freaking good. I will say. If I'll say. Like, that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
That was pretty good. So I think we got an A in geography.
I think we did too.
Hell yeah.
We're so smart.
We are so smart. Are you ready? Okay, next we have science.
Science.
Science. And we do have 2 quizzes for science. Okay. We have a GeoGuessr
Ooh.
of the planet.
Oh, I got that one easy.
And then we have like an actual like little quiz. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Are you ready? Let's go.
All right.
Let me refresh this. Jupiter's
the
that
biggie.
one. Whoa!
Mars is that one.
Mars. No, that's Mars.
Saturn is that one. Us.
Earth. Neptune. Venus. Mercury. Because I Venus instead. Alright. So we gotta be there, but we can redeem ourselves in the next one. Because I'm dumb and clicked the wrong one. Alright, so this is School's Observatory Solar System Quiz.
Is it just all about the solar system?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, not just the quizzes. Whatever.
I think it's all like.
Yeah. I mean, is this section of our game here?
Yeah, because when I was looking at like science things, like the only things I was really getting was solar system, and I was like, I think we learned the solar system in 5th grade. We're doing solar system because I want to do the solar system. Right. I like planets. All right. So approximate duration 15 minutes. We have this many questions.
Oh, easy.
All right.
I already know this one.
Which planet is known as the red planet? Mars. Woo, yay!
We got 1 point.
Got that 1 point. Which planet do we live on?
Earth.
Woo-wee. Which is the 7th planet from the sun? Mars, Venus, Earth, Mercury, and then Mars.
And then Mars, and then
Jupiter, Saturn,
Neptune. It's not Uranus, and it's not Earth.
No.
Oh no.
Uranus.
Damn.
There we go. So we got 1 wrong. I don't know if that counts.
Oh man. Yeah.
Okay. Which is what can be found between orbits of Mars and Jupiter? It's the asteroid belt. Yeah? Yeah, woo! Because there's a big asteroid belt around it to separate the giants from the little guys. It's a buffer. Right, which of the following is one of the dwarf planets in our solar system?
I think it's
Pluto.
Isn't the moon technically a dwarf? No, the moon is a moon. Yeah, you're right, it's Pluto. This is an old test because Pluto's not even in there anymore.
Yep.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. my guy.
Poor Pooh.
Which planet's orbit is closest to Earth's orbit?
Venus.
Yay.
Everything I know about the solar system I know from Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon. Alright, which planet has the most rings around it?
Saturn.
Does Venus even have rings? It's like the most rings.
Neptune doesn't.
Only one.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's the only one in this list with rings. Which is the largest planet in the solar system?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Huge.
Get it, girl.
But not the heaviest. Because mass and weight are two different things. What is a star in our solar system called?
The sun.
Pluto. The sun.
Plot twist, everything revolves around Pluto.
Surprise. Which is the furthest planet from the sun?
Pluto.
Is it Pluto? Because Earth called it a dwarf planet. Is it Pluto or is it Neptune?
With their logic, I feel like they're gonna make it
Hold on.
Pluto.
I don't... Does this thing have a date? Because I think this is a newer...
Did they vote Pluto back in?
I don't know. Either Neptune
I
or
know that Pluto and Neptune are both in the outer Genshin for David.
Because it does say planet. It specifies planet and it specified
I'm gonna go over
Pluto as a dwarf planet.
We'll go ahead and click Neptune.
Neptune.
Look at that.
Okay. So it's the subcategory of
They're putting
dwarf...
Pluto in here just to make Pluto feel good.
Yeah. Which, you know what? Fair. What are large spherical objects that orbit the sun called?
Planets.
Planets. Yay. Which is the smallest planet in our solar system? Mercury.
Oh, it might be Mercury.
I think Mercury is the smallest. Yeah.
Woohoo.
12 out of 12. We actually got 11 out of 12.
Yeah, but that's okay. Here.
That's okay.
And I'll get our percentage here. 91. Oh my god. We
You
can
know
round
what?
up to 92 though, because it's 91.666666666. Yep.
All right. Hey, we're doing great. And actually, that,
Trapped in the endless 91s.
yeah, it's actually the last one I had. We went through that quick.
Why are there guns?
Oh, I
Oh my
was
god.
working on this.
That was really good.
Thank you. I need to do the highlights for it, but other than that,
It's prop gun, guys. The prop.
it's a prop. Just a prop. All right, we are a freaking straight A student, dude.
We sure are. Where's the arts? Where's the arts, y'all?
Arts are what we do every day.
They don't fund them enough in schools. They don't even put them on the quizzes here.
Where's my recorder?
Right here. I'm talking like painters and stuff.
It's 5th grade.
There's no history either.
It's
We
5th
did
grade.
history. That was in general.
Yeah. 5th grade, they don't do humanities in 5th grade.
No, but they do social studies.
Yeah.
Or like history.
Yeah, but it's, I think 5th grade is like US history. It's like talking about wars and shit. Or at least they should be. And like be like, hey, take a look around.
In 5th grade.
5th grade is when we got to choose if we went into orchestra or band.
I remember the Oregon Trail. Economics.
Economics.
Because she had us in this like, we basically like, one Friday of the month we would do like a fake, I think I've talked about this on stream before, where at the top of the year everybody had to submit business ideas, and it had to be a legitimate business too, because like once a month we would basically role play all of us being small business owners.
Okay.
And you would earn money by like behaving well or scoring well on tests and stuff. And then you use this fake money to like interact with other people's businesses, and all the rich kids, they would like, their parents would just like bake them shit to come in and sell, or they would like buy like little trinkets for their kids to sell or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, the only reason my family lived in this area was because like, I don't even know how the hell we managed it. And so like, I couldn't sell anything. I tried to do like drawn things, but she wouldn't let me do it because another kid called it first. And so I literally like just didn't have like a business, and I'd try occasionally, but she kept denying she hated me so much.
Why?
I don't know, man. I was well behaved.
Imagine beefing with a child.
She really hated me, and she was very mean to me. She made fun of me for stuff, but like,
Is this the one that like made fun of you for the math? Okay.
Or like spelling. We'd have a spelling test, and she'd be like, okay, if everybody can get 100% on this test, then we'll have something. So everybody really better get on Kiki to make sure that she studies. And it's not because I wasn't studying, it's because I was freaking dyslexic, bitch. Anyway.
What the hell?
She was just beefing with me so hard.
For no reason.
So mean. And so, yeah, like once a month we'd have this thing, and I'd like be able to spend the money that I earned by like doing well on tests and stuff, but she never gave me good behavior points because she hated me. And then so I just like, you know, do my measly little stuff, and then I couldn't participate because I didn't have a business to do. Like, I tried.
So weird.
I literally tried, but she would, every time I'd have to like submit it, and then she'd have to like approve it, and then we'd like, you know, then she would just deny it every time. She was so mean to me. I don't know.
Sounds like classism.
Someday I'm gonna call her first name. I don't know her first name. I only know her last name. But
You know who you are.
yeah. So
Also,
I remember
hi. How do you say your
we
name?
also did music.
Yeah, we did music.
Phoenix.
Is it supposed to be Phoenix? Help! I'm dumb.
Phone.
ET phone home.
Phony lick. I'm gonna call you Licks. What's up, Lick?
N-I-K.
It's just
There's
like
no
fifth grade all
L.
over again. I'm gonna call you Nick. Hey, Nick. This is just like a fifth grade all over again. Well, we did music. That
We
was something
did.
that we did a lot of in fifth grade.
What did I? Oh, I played trombone in 5th grade.
Oh, really? Yep. I was just
It was as big
choir.
as me.
I can imagine. You were a small person.
I was a small person, and yeah, no, carrying that thing to and from school, because I walked to school. We were close enough that, and like by 5th grade, my mom was like, "Be free, little birdie." So I walked to school. So I hated bringing that thing home into school.
I can imagine.
It sucked rocks. Like, because not only was I small, but I had tiny little stick arms. Still do. Yeah, that's the only memory I have from 5th grade. I'm like, I don't remember what I did in 5th grade.
I had this friend.
No, it's smart.
So we did choir,
Yeah.
right? And that's also how I know where all the states are, is because in choir, like if you could memorize all the states with the state song or whatever,
Yeah.
you'd get a candy bar. And I was so food motivated.
Like, I know the names of the states. Clearly, I am not aware of where they are.
That's okay.
Like, if we were to take these quizzes separately and then average our
Our scores would be very different.
plummeted.
Because I don't apparently know anything about the solar system. Hang on, I gotta make sure my child is not angry at me. No, we're good. Sorry. Tamagotchi care.
Tamagotchi care moment.
But for the Christmas like concert that we did,
Yeah.
we sang this song that was like, you know the song New York? New York, New York, and when you fly away.
Yeah.
So we did like that, but it was a spoof for Christmas.
Okay.
And she had like a little like line of people up in the front that were gonna do a little dance,
Cute.
but you had to try out for it.
Cute.
But the thing is I was really uncoordinated.
Of course.
Hey, plot twist, later I would like teach dance.
Yeah.
Like in 5th grade, I was really fighting demons. And so me and my friends, we all tried out and they both got in and I didn't.
Aww.
And I was okay with it, but they were so savage to me. They made fun of me so hard. And like they had to go and do like little special practices while everybody else was doing other things. And they'd be like, "See you, Kiki, too bad you didn't make it." And they were such bitches.
Oh my god.
I was like, what did I do to you people? I was literally so clueless, right? But anyway, later for the end of the year concert, there was a solo. And I got it.
Nice.
And one of my friends was such a little turd about it. She was like, "You really should give it to me because my parents are gonna be there. They're gonna be watching and they're gonna want to see me." And I was like, my parents, what the heck are you even talking about? My parents are gonna be there too. Anyway.
Wow, you just had all kinds of drama going on. In
And the
5th
thing
grade.
is I
had
wasn't
absolutely
aware.
Nothing.
I wasn't aware of any of this stuff. I was a little too like disassociated, like cognitively, and so I was just like living my life. It wasn't until I was later that I was like, damn, that was really messed up of that. Except my teacher. I really disliked my teacher because she was a grown adult and should have known better.
Hey, Rusty.
Hey, Rusty.
We're just yapping.
talking about
Hey,
school.
we're smart. Look at, we got all A's.
We really did.
Because we combined the brain cell. I don't want to know what our individual scores would have been.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Hey, average 2 seconds a question.
I know, we did
Saying.
so good.
We did so good on those times tables.
Now, if I had tried those times tables on my own, I probably would have gotten. My guess is in the 70s. The time would have been a lot longer. I would not have been 2 seconds per question.
Yeah. If I had a number pad, I feel like I'd been quicker.
If you had given me, like unlimited time and a number pad, I probably would get close to 100.
Yeah.
But that's as long as I'm reading them carefully.
Yeah. We did both add. Luckily on different ones.
Yes.
Independently added them
Independently added instead of multiplying.
when we were playing times tables. Yeah. Tis what tis.
What were your favorite classes you took in high school?
In high school?
Yeah, favorite class.
Favorite classes. I took a psychology class, which was a lot of fun.
In high school? That's cool.
We had a semester split where you could take a semester of psychology and semester of sociology. He hated sociology. Mostly because of the teacher. She sucked. Like, we did a unit on sexism, and we had to do a project, and I was like, hey, can I do my project on male nurses? Because I was like, everyone's gonna do females in the workplace. I'm like, let's like branch out. Like, I want to
really good idea.
do something else. And she was like, no, that's not really a thing. I was like, the fuck? Hello?
The fact that you're denying it proves that it's a thing.
Yeah,
I was like, you're minimizing that struggle proves that it's a thing.
She's like, I really want you guys to focus on women. I was like, yes, but you're gonna get 20 of the same project. I was like, it goes both ways.
It really do.
I'm like,
geez, lady.
I was like, and then later we were talking about the Confederate statues in the South and whether or not they should be taken down or not. And most people were like, yes, take them down. And me and 2 other people were like, no, they should be kept up, because although what they stood for was wrong with the whole slavery thing, because obviously that's wrong.
That's very wrong.
That is what half the time when their statues were put there was not for war stuff.
I feel like
it's for other things.
Yeah, my opinion on it is that they should move them, put them in a specific part of a museum.
Destroying, and then I was saying add to them, add other statues of people who were good and who like, because we can't just erase our history. And her argument was like, well, you don't see like statues of Hitler in Germany. And I would like to point out, of the 3 people that were saying leave them up, it was me, my friend Jay, and the German exchange student in our class, who was like, yeah, we don't have them up because he committed genocide. He's like, we remember what happened because it's part of our history. I was like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is happening right now? I'm like, how are you? The teacher should be a non-biased party. Like, they should not have a
unless there's a child literally standing up and saying, you know what, Hitler had a point.
Yeah, that's completely different. Yeah. But when it's a class discussion and a class debate, the teacher should be neutral.
If it's a debate, the teacher needs to be nonpartisan so that she can properly judge and mitigate.
But it was literally the 3 of us versus the rest of the class and her.
Dang.
I was like, what the hell? So, hated sociology. I 100% got out of doing one of the projects because I accidentally downloaded the wrong project.
Ah, poo.
On my flash drive. Ah, poo. Can't present. Womp womp. She let me get away.
Right on.
I bypassed the class because I did everything else, but I didn't want to do the stupid project, so I didn't do it. But yeah, the psychology class was a lot of fun. Yeah. Most of my psychological knowledge came from that class, and the teacher was really cool too. He was awesome.
I took a psychology class my first semester at college, and it was super sick as hell. But the 2 things that stuck out to me the most was, number 1, everybody, like, halfway through the semester, the teacher had to be like, listen, I really enjoy your input. If you have a personal story to share, don't raise your hand. He's like, he's like, listen, we're here to like study the course load, because it was literally I would have to like tune out, because there would be people, like, we'd be talking about a disorder or whatever, and people would raise their hands and share the most unrelated, batshit crazy things that were like straight up uncomfortable. I'm like, you need to talk to either the authorities or a therapist about this.
Yeah, you know,
or like, why are you proud of this? Is the other thing.
The school we went to, I believe that, because I also took that class.
Yeah,
at a different time.
He literally had to be like, do not share personal stories anymore. We're like, we need to get through the course load. It's taking up too much class time. And then we got to play with baby chickens.
I remember that.
We had to
it was the same class.
Yeah, we
different times.
Teach chickens how to like condition them to peck a red dot.
Yeah, it was so cute.
My chicken was an angel.
Aw. So in that class when I took it, there was this girl who, when we were talking about like the dating game, and like whether or not like physical attraction has a pole in it and all that stuff, she for real said it doesn't matter what they look like. We're here to get married and have kids.
Either she was mad horny, or just like really, really hopeless.
What is happening?
I need to take this girl by the hand and say, like, what's going on?
What is going on?
What's going on, girl? Because
I was like, no,
because it was a religious school, so either she was super horny, or
so far down
so
the rabbit hole.
So hopeless. Oh, girl.
Oh, she was pretty, so she was fine. I was like, I'm sitting there like, huh?
You're like, maybe to her, maybe she's just like, you know.
Maybe that's just.
Listen, no matter what you look like, somebody's gonna be buying what you're selling. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And so maybe she was just, maybe her supermarket was selling more product than most people. Maybe she was just buying everything.
Maybe, I don't know, but I was
maybe she
like,
just really wanted kids and didn't give a damn who she was having.
I guess. But I was sitting there, I'm like, we're literally sitting here having a discussion about this and the like psychological impact of things. And you're sitting there like, no, it's all fake.
Also,
why are you in this class?
The theory, so evolution biologically wired us so that we would be attracted to things. So that we would be looking for characteristics that indicate health, strength, virility, a long life.
Exactly.
Right? Also looking for things that will like genetically diversify our line, right?
Exactly.
And so attraction is literally a thing.
It is! Oh my god!
If it's not a thing, then tell me. Never mind, I'm not gonna go there. It's a thing. This girl crazy.
She is. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, girl, you can only say that because all the boys are falling over you because you're pretty and you don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Because she has the pick of the litter.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm like, girl pop, stop.
Yeah.
Me, I had a really
She never had Nosferatu chasing after. You know what I mean?
I had a friend in that class. We literally sat in the back the whole time and we were just kind of like yapping at each other just quietly. And we're like, what the hell is happening?
Okay, that made me think of something. My general science class that I took with a friend. And
I should have taken my general science class with a friend. It was awful.
She's the only reason we made it through. We took it at 7:45 in the morning. Crazy time.
Crazy time.
And the teacher, he was the weightlifting teacher. They had lost the science teacher.
Oh my god.
Rest in peace. And it was like last minute that they died, that this science teacher died. They literally went to the staff and were desperate. They're like, we'll bump your, and he told this to us first day one. They're like, we'll boost your pay if somebody takes this. He left all of his notes behind. All you have to do is literally just follow his notes. And so first of all, it was all lecture, and that was really rough. But second of all, 7:45, it's like 12 degrees outside.
Of course.
Snow to your shoulders.
Because we started
every class. He made us do push-ups.
What?
And he's like, this is based in science. He's like, when your blood pressure, like when your blood is moving.
This is based in science. Yes. Therefore.
He's like, he's like, when your blood is moving, when you do physical activity, the studies have shown that like athletes perform better on tests after they've had a workout than before. And so he'd have us start the class out with push-ups, and he wanted everybody to do 10, but he's like, do as many as you can. So we do push-ups, and then halfway through the class, if people weren't participating hard enough, he's like, you're obviously tired, everybody get up, and we're doing push-ups in a lecture hall. Listen, I was taking military fitness. I could do 60 push-ups in 2 minutes. I was very physically fit. I was so not having it. I was like, this is dumb as hell. Sometimes I'd come late just so that I wouldn't have to.
Honestly, that would be me.
I was like, sure, that's the science of it, but I'm literally just here to do it.
I would be tired after, because it's 7:45 in the morning and I just did physical activity. I'm sleepy.
And I lived all the way across the damn campus.
Because we were poor.
Because I'm poor. I lived in poor housing. And so I'm like, I get there, I'm like, do you want to look at my Fitbit? And see that my heart rate is already
like,
up there.
I just did my workout. I walked here.
I rolled out of bed.
I can't. I don't have a car, and I can't. They won't give me a pass to park on campus because, once again, poor. They only gave parking passes to certain people, which was all the rich people
really crazy.
who were there.
Yeah, all the rich people who lived in the housing close to the.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was like,
I have questions for that school.
I hope your battery dies. Anyway.
I hope your battery dies.
Yeah, so that was crazy. That was not my favorite class. The only reason I continued going to my statistics class, which I passed by the way, was because it was in the math building and they did popcorn every Friday.
Oh, I remember that. And the elevators always smelled like pomegranate.
I also remember that.
It was very nice. It was pleasant. I don't know why, but it was pleasant.
Their math and science buildings there are really nice.
It was really pretty.
The arts.
The arts were in the freaking gutters.
In the gutters.
Like, for real though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that place was insane.
My favorite classes I took in high school, I took a creative writing class that was literally spectacular. It was so much fun. I also had I've had a really good time in like the English classes, and I love writing book reports because I got a lot of opinions. on stupid things that should
If I enjoy
matter.
the book, if I get to choose the book, I'm fine. If it's required reading that is so dry, I'm like,
that was the other thing, because it's a book report, and oftentimes you're allowed to share a lot of what you thought and felt about the book. And so I call me a critic, man. Give me a turtleneck and a pad of paper, because I would tear these books to shreds. I'm like, do I know anything about this?
We would have gotten
I'm
marked
still-
down for that.
See,
We would have gotten
my
marked
teachers
down for that.
respected me for my nuts, for my massive literary nuts.
I got a
I was
low
like,
grade.
am I gonna look at this classic author and tell you that this was a dry piece of literature, that their stuff was a stretch, and that it was like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I got marked down for that because the one time I actually gave a actually opinionated book report like type thing, I got marked down for being too critical and not focusing on what was required.
That's lame.
Even though I marked,
You're like,
I hit all the things.
That's the point of English classes, to teach you how to have. They didn't like literacy. Like, and literacy means just like more than just being able to read.
Yeah,
It means,
and
like,
that's
being able
why
to extrapolate
from
information
there
from-
I just
that's
did what
crazy.
was supposed to be done and didn't give a shit.
My senior year, I was in a like a college course English class,
Nice.
and we read this book called, and I'm gonna call it out because the story is crazy. It's The Tale to Lost Innocence by Somali Ma'am.
Wow.
And it is about this woman who grew up like way back in the day in Cambodia and was sold into sex slavery.
Yikes.
And it's her story. It's a biography. She wrote.
You guys got to
like-
read it?
Yes, right. And
Yeah,
so
they would not have let us read it.
the crazy thing is, I read it and I finished it in like a week, and it was like really. She goes into detail about what happens to her. It's like really intense. And then of course I was really ahead of the rest of the class, so I started writing my report.
Yeah.
And I was doing more research about it online. Lawsuits. She made it up. She wrote this book. She gets all these awards. She travels the world for years talking about her experience. Come to find out, she made it all
Read
up.
it up.
And so
That's
when I wrote my my book report on this, we were supposed to do peer reviews, but they were only like 4 or 5 chapters in when we got started, because she wanted us to kind of take it slow. And I went to her and I was like, listen, dude, I finished this book and I was doing research. I don't think you want my peers to review this yet. Because, and she was like, yeah, I know that's like, she planned on dropping the bomb on the class at the very end. She's like, some of you have, are gonna already know because you looked it up, but literally so many of these kids finished reading this book, had this like emotional gut reaction because it's like a violent book.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of like that unit, she was like, yeah, by the way, there's all this stuff, and it's like, actually most of it's not real. I was like, lady, what the hell? Anyway, so yeah, my book report was a little scathing, because I was like, first of all, I was very close to this other lady, like mentorship through my church, who grew up in Cambodia in a internment camp.
Mm-hmm.
Her grandfather was killed before her very eyes because he was like stealing vegetables from the jungle to feed his family who was starving to death in this prison camp. And she would share her experience and stuff with us young women. And so like here I was going into this thinking like, damn, this is a crazy part of the world. And then I read this and then I find out it's totally fake when my friend over here, her mom literally went through all of this.
Yeah.
I was like, this is some bullshit. This lady is some bullshit. Sure, she got some good stuff out of it because she was able to like go around and like advocate for like,
Yeah.
but still, like, it's based in lies, man. And she got so much money out of it too. Sorry, that was a really long anecdote, but
The lies.
lies. And yeah, I got an A+ on the report,
Okay.
even though I like
Yeah.
did not pull any punches. Like,
Yeah, the required reading was always so annoying to me because it wasn't like read at your own pace. It was read these chapters, and by the way, we have a test on it, so don't go ahead because you'll know too much, but don't fall behind because you won't know what's on the test.
oh, see, I just blew right past that. I was like, I'm just gonna read this whole thing and then literally chill the rest of the unit.
Literally, it was a quiz every week about what was that week's reading.
Yeah,
And it was very specific questions to see if you did the reading.
Mhm.
So if you didn't read it recently, you wouldn't know this shit. It'd be like, oh, what color was this person's shoes who you don't see ever again? And you're like, I don't know.
Actual hell, like what's the point of this test?
To see if you were reading and
See
I
if
was
you're
not. Because I honestly, I needed like audio. I did a lot of audiobooks in high school because I simply could not. I was like, I'm falling asleep reading these things because there's no plot.
See, okay, and that just goes to show. I'm getting on a little soapbox here, like not a wooden soapbox on the corner of a street, like I'm standing on a cardboard soapbox I got from Walmart. It's empty. It's flat beneath my feet. I'm getting onto the soapbox, okay? Standardized testing is not good because Akane prefers audiobooks, really likes to get into the meat of stuff at her own pace.
Yeah.
Not that huge on book reports or like reading quizzes. Could blow you away with her math skills, okay? She does this recreationally. I was eating required reading for breakfast and scoring crazy on the test, even though I read it like a week and a half ago and I'm way ahead of everybody. I did not do a single math homework piece my entire high school career because I hated math so much.
Yeah.
I was so bad at it. And so intelligence-wise, I mean, I did really good on the SATs minus that one page.
I graduated top 10% of my class.
But like, I struggled so hard in other areas because standardized testing, people just learn differently.
Yeah.
You got the same amount of stuff out of the required reading that I did, but you learned different.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And when I finally had a math teacher that gave a damn about me, I was doing great.
The teacher always does make a big difference. I will say that.
Man, I got O for O every single year except for 1 year. My senior year, my math teacher actually really cared.
Nice. But yeah, like standardized testing, there is a purpose and a need for it to make sure you hit benchmarks required before you go on to the next grade. However, it's before you go on to the next grade and not just, oh, you don't know us, we're going to push you on anyway.
Yeah.
That's where the problem comes. Like, obviously, you need to know your times tables at least a little bit
so that you can make wise financial decisions in the future.
But like, having that being the baseline of everything is insane.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
I wish that they paid teachers more.
Me too.
So that teachers could like expand the way that they teach, and so that they could get different types of teachers
and not
too.
Pay them more, but let them
support them and let them teach.
Let them teach, because so many teachers have to follow this rule book,
rubric,
and half the time it doesn't work for their class, but they have to do it because otherwise they're going to get in trouble.
It's crazy,
which is insane. Because like you said, I'm actively listening to Dracula right now, and if you were to look at my book, it is scribbled all over. I'll post a picture in the Discord later, but it is scribbled all over with all of my notes and like analyzing this text.
Yeah, you're getting so much out of it, but you're going at your pace.
Yeah, but I'm only on chapter 7.
In school, they would consider you behind, which is crazy. Like, it's not the speed or the way that you absorb information, it's just your ability to do so.
Yeah. You were not there yet. I took an English class in college, and the first half of the class, I've talked about this before, was based on a book called Make It Stick. I never got the book. I never purchased the book from the library.
A lot in college too, because they're so expensive.
They're so expensive. You could rent this book. Didn't read a lick of this book. Not a clue what it said. I only showed up and participated in the discussions afterwards and listened to what everyone else says and listened to what our professor was saying about it. So I understood the core of it. So when the project came around and it was, okay, you need to just present something and make it stick. Everyone was doing presentations, like PowerPoint presentations for the first half. I was like in the middle of the presentation line. So it was like, I was at the end of day 1. There was 2 days of presentations. I was at the very end. I think I was the last person in day 1. And so it was PowerPoint. Death by PowerPoint the whole time, even though the whole time it was saying, don't just do what you've been taught. Reach out, get them to remember something. And like we were like grading people like
based
as an audience.
Based on the memorability of their presentation.
Based on the memorability of the presentation. So I get up there, I have nothing but a thing of food coloring and a water bottle. And I say, this is a water bottle. Actually, this is an apartment. Here's your apartment.
What was the book? Was you presenting on the book?
No, we were just presenting something.
Oh, presenting something.
You got to choose any topic.
Oh, okay.
Presenting something.
Okay, cool.
We had to use what we learned from the book and present something.
Cool.
And by the way, this was in 2021. That's very important context. So I presented a water bottle and said, this is an apartment. And I was like, you see, it's like very, very pretty apartments. Ooh, apartments, yay. And then I handed my professor who was up there, I was like, okay, take this red food coloring and put 2 drops into this apartment. And he's like, okay, dink, dink. And then I screwed the cap on and I was like, all right, and shook it up. And then I handed it back to him. I was like, okay, take out your 2 drops.
Can't do.
And he's like, I can't do that. And I was like, hey, you didn't know I was going to ask you. He's like, well, I kind of guessed that's what you were going to, but no, I didn't. Previously, I did not know. And I was like, okay, this is your apartment. And I held up my food card and I was like, this is...
Your bitch ass complaining.
No. I was like, this is your germs.
Oh, look at that.
Because at that time, we were having a major issue of people throwing COVID parties.
Oh.
Because if you tested positive for COVID, you got
have
2
to
weeks
class.
of excused absences and you couldn't get marked down for any of those assignments.
That's crazy.
So people are throwing COVID parties to be able to test positive
so that
and
they wouldn't have to
go to class, but still pass the classes.
That's crazy.
Exactly. And I was like, stop going to parties because you are causing more harm than just getting out of it.
Seriously.
People are dying.
People are dying.
And like, that was when I was cleaning the health center.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at an extra risk and I have health problems. So even more risk. I was like, stop going to parties. And it was like right before Halloween too.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people were starting
gearing up to
go to like Halloween parties and stuff. And the next day, everyone's presentations was different.
There you go. You changed things
and
up,
I was
babe.
like, y'all read the book but didn't get the book. I don't even own the book. It's like I had a roommate who was also taking that class, not at the same time, but she was also taking that class and she had the book and she was like, oh, we can share. I was like, I'm good. I don't want to. And can you guess who did a PowerPoint presentation? Who was sitting on the couch making her PowerPoint? I thought of that idea in the shower. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll just do that. Like, what?
It makes me think of I had so many really great teachers in school that like found unconventional ways of teaching. There are some situations where I can get into a lecture if I'm really passionate about the topic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I really struggle with lectures.
Lectures are hard.
I fall asleep. I have intrusive sleep. I fall asleep if I'm not so engaged. But I have had lots of teachers who found ways to make it exciting. It makes me think of the Dead Poet Society.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that movie for a whole other slew of reasons, but I really like the way that he teaches, you know, like with your body, with, you know, object lessons that make it stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like involved kind of lessons. That's why, okay, I'm not tooting any horns here because I never took any instrument classes in my life. No horns being tooted over here. I teach at the church we attend.
Yes.
And I have a really good time teaching, and I have a really good time with the class participation. People like want to participate. There's a certain level of connection that the teacher has to establish first in order for people to participate.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know if you've noticed, every time I teach, I try to share a personal either story from my life or from somebody else's life around me.
You always start it with a joke.
I like to start with a joke. Because if I just stand up and I just start vomiting information on you and then I ask you to bare your soul, I'm not gonna bare your soul.
No, you.
That's why if I'm asking for people to like share examples in their lives of how the subject matter affects them or something like that, I always like to start with my own story first. Because like, first of all, either like you don't know what exactly I'm looking for or you don't know what it's like you're comfortable sharing. But if I share first, then other people are like,
it's really hard
since
to
you're
be
putting
first.
something on the table, I'll put something. It's hard to be first.
It's so hard to be first.
And it's like, in order to keep like just the same two people from like raising their hand and doing all of the work for everybody in the class, it's like, I'm here to mitigate a discussion, you know? You gotta get involved, and it's really hard for teachers to be passionate and involved like that
when they're being told what to
teach
or and how to teach,
or when they spend literally every second that they're not teaching struggling because they can't afford to live.
Like the number of times because I come from a family of teachers. The majority of the adults in my family, like the generation above me, the adults, are teachers of some capacity.
Teach in some way
And have for years. Like I have been in it. I've been in it for years.
Capital I-N.
I am in it. And the fact that the curriculum is constantly changing. So they take all this time to train you on this is how you're supposed to teach and this is what you're supposed to teach, just for the next year to do it all over again with something else.
Crazy.
Instead of just, these are the benchmarks your students need to hit. Go crazy.
Go crazy. Yeah. I think, you know, in a perfect world, the function of school is to prepare people so that they can be good members of society and protect themselves from misinformation.
Yeah.
Or from like financial harm, you know? My favorite math class I ever took, first of all, I like geometry. I did pretty well in geometry, but like algebras, no way. My favorite math class I took was math for the real world, which was considered the quote dumb people math.
Really?
Because it was your senior, you had to take math every year, and you either got put into like one of the calculus or something like that, something upper.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't make the proper grades in algebra, which hey, I got like C's, and that was after fighting for my life. I had to take algebra 2 twice. They put me in math for the real world.
I think I would have chosen math for the real world.
Exactly. That's where I learned how to do my taxes. That's why anytime we're like shopping and they're like having a sale, that's where I can tell you what the price is without having to look at like a calculator or like the price hat sheets that they post, because I know how to calculate percentages in my head for like, you know, 25, 30, 60, 90% off just off the top of my head. That's how I learned how to do my taxes. That's how I learned how to like do finances. Yeah, just like crazy stuff like that. Sales tax, I can calculate it, even though it's a really funky situation. In a lot of different states, it's different. But like, I did so good in that class because the teacher really cared. He had this group of students who came to him battered and destroyed from the math department of this stupid educational system. From the department that we were in, everybody that showed up washed ashore on his doorstep. Just like, we were survivors. We were castaways, right? And he was like, by golly, I'm gonna turn you out of here and you're gonna know how to do your taxes. You're gonna know how to be like careful with your money.
You know what kind of the sad thing that is making me think is it is quote the dumb class, and you were being taught life skills.
Seriously?
Was that because they didn't expect you to go any further than high school?
I don't know, but like it's like they didn't expect us to take any of the higher level learning classes that you take in college.
Yeah.
You know, it was crazy that
like
it was literally people were like, oh, you're in the dumb class, or like, oh yeah, we're in the dumb class together, high five. But we're literally sitting here learning how to do things that you do as an adult constantly.
Yeah, because like where I come from is a very, like, if you are like middle class at that school, you were doing real good. Like we were very low on the totem pole. Like there was other schools around us that we like played football against, who were like the rich schools, and like we were looked down upon. Like people did not expect much from our school.
I feel like in our annex, no 2 doorknobs were the same. These kids kept breaking doorknobs and they just go to a hardware store and find a door.
Yeah,
replace it.
Like
it's crazy.
Like in the last 2 years that I was there, like we were getting like city funding to get it updated in buildings, because 3 of our wings were portable classrooms.
Oh yeah, we had a whole fleet of portable classrooms.
Yeah, because they were supposed to be temporary 20 years ago.
No, they were like
20 years ago they got there, and they were supposed to be temporary, and those classrooms sucked ass in the winter and in the summer.
Like if you had a class and you were in the portables during the winter semester, you were like,
were freezing or you were dying of heat.
It smells like butthole in these places, and every window is down, everyone's dying.
Yeah, but although I will say, one of the classes I took in one of the portable classes it was a lot of our like history classes were over there. It was a history class, and one of the days, like I learned a lot in this class, but one of the most memorable days is there was a major thunderstorm that day, and our teacher let us go out on the ramp and watch the thunderstorm instead of class.
Oh, how fun!
Because it was like thunder and lightning. Like we were pretty sure the power was gonna go out at any minute, and he was like, you know what, like I can't talk over this thunder
because you're in a tin can.
He was like, you know what, if you guys want to go out and look at the thunder, go for it. If not, stay inside and work on whatever project we were doing. Right. And so we stood there in like, it was like covered, but it was windy, so the rain was still hitting us. No one was dry. And we were like watching this lightning storm. We were like, pretty. Wow. Luckily it was still raining, so we didn't have a fire.
Yes.
But like, that was like one of the coolest things. He was really cool. I liked it. But like, just letting teachers be teachers, and like, hey, like he was a history teacher, but like, hey, let's talk about science for a second, because the thing like lightning and thunder are basic science knowledge that everyone knows, and we can chat about it. Like learning was still happening.
This is an educational institution. Let us educate.
Let's educate.
Let's just turn yourselves into functioning people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, kids already have like whole lives to worry about at home. Anyway, yeah. Dumb class actually ended up being one of the most useful classes I took.
And usually it is. Usually it is.
Yep.
No.
We learned. That's also where we learned how to do a lot of like math on Excel sheets and stuff. That's why I'm a wizard in sheets in Excel, because like he was like, listen, you might not be able to make these complicated formulas work just out of the top of your head, but you know what can? Excel.
A computer.
So I'm going to teach you how to use this so that you can, if you're ever in a job that requires you to do stuff like this, you know where to go to like figure this out.
Like you don't need to know all of this because you're gonna forget it.
People,
I guarantee you, most of the people who took calculus and shit in high school, specifically in high school, not college, in high school, they're not gonna remember
that crap at all. And like, okay, I'm gonna shout out this teacher especially, Mr. Cook.
Let's go, Mr. Cook.
Let's go, Mr. Cook. Everybody hated him, and here's why. He was so dry. He had a soft voice. He did never go off on tangents. He was my favorite math teacher I ever had, because he was a shy and quiet dude, an older gentleman. He cared so much. Instead of just being like, okay, here's what we're learning, go at it, he would say, okay, here's what we're learning, and he would literally walk the rows through the entire class. He would never just go sit at his desk. He would like walk up and be like, okay, and he'd like work with people one-on-one, and that's what I needed. That
was my favorite thing, is when teachers, like after like the base discussion was like, okay, here's the work, go for it, would then like make sure everyone's doing okay, so people would sit down, he'd like be able to sit down and like talk to them, because especially in a math class, I was the smart kid in math class. So while I'm trying to do my work done, I'm having 7 different people, hey, how do we do this? How do we do this? And I'm like, shut up! I'm just trying to do my work. I was like, I have color guide practice after school. I don't have time to do this homework later. I gotta do it now, guys. I'm like, please.
Have mercy. So when a teacher actually teaches, that's
it's great when a teacher teaches.
Yeah. Man, he was awesome. And it was also great because he shared, so his classroom bordered the history classroom, and that teacher, he had the, okay, so you guys know Bob the alien from Monsters vs. Aliens?
Yes.
That actor.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Not a clue.
I can't remember either, but he has like that really distinct laugh. He laughed exactly like that, but like 8 decibels higher.
I love it.
And louder. And so we'd be sitting there like working on our stuff, and it's a quiet classroom because you know we're all suffering doing math.
Yeah.
And our teacher's like not up there like lecturing or anything, and we just would like quietly through the wall we'd hear. It was great.
Awesome.
Oh man.
My favorite thing was, so we had one 2-story building, because our high school was spread out like a JC. And we had one building that was 2 stories, and it was the English department, and then the science department was upstairs. Which I think is smart. We put the science department upstairs, so if fire starts, everyone from downstairs can just leave.
Yes. Did you guys ever make rockets?
Not in high school. I did it in elementary.
We did it in junior high. Anyway, sorry, continue.
So
that teacher ended up being a pedophile, but I had a good time. Rocket.
So how it was formed, it was like 2 wings and then connected by a hallway in the center that was just for teachers and stuff.
Yeah.
And so the teachers would all have different preps, right? So every once in a while, the teachers would have like either a game or like a prank war going on. And so you just hear skittering down the hall, and then someone would open the door, throw something in, and close the door. Like there was one time, like it was like a plastic frog or something that was getting passed around, and like you didn't want to have the frog.
You didn't want the frog.
And so there was one time, it was like a freaking grenade. One of the teachers just hucked the frog in and left. Because like if you get caught, like you have to keep the frog, but it was literally like open, throw, close.
Okay, so that happened. A prank war like that happened with one of my teachers in junior high, where out of everybody in the entire school, she was the only one who got a smart board, and everybody was real jealous of her.
Really?
Yeah. And so what they would do is teachers would send their TAs, and I'm like, that's twisted that you got your students involved, but they would send their TAs to go in, and so. Like the smart board, it was like, you know, I don't know. Did you ever see a smart board?
We had smart boards,
okay, so we only had the one, the mythical smart board. And there's like little sensors where like all the fake markers and eraser go. Well, if you go in and you like put a tiny piece of paper over the sensor in the little tray, no matter, like, you pick up the tool, but it won't work.
Yeah, because it's a sensor.
Because it's a sensor, and it's like she got to the point where she didn't want to leave her classroom because she knew that the second she stood out, either a teacher was going to send a TA in to go put paper over the sensors, or the teachers would like buy out the kids in her classes and be like, I'll bring you a candy bar if at any point when she's not paying attention you can sneak to the front of the class and put paper. And she was a kick in the pants. She was hilarious.
That's
and awesome,
funny.
and so it was always like a lot of good fun. But it would always get her at the beginning. She'd always be like, ah! And they wouldn't do the entire thing. They just put it in one.
Yeah.
And wait. Because if you put it in the entire thing, then she's gonna immediately find it and check them all. It was fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the
so
one smart board.
We had. When did we? I think we got smart boards when I was in elementary school. I remember a couple years ago.
Yeah.
When we were in elementary school, and then they were in all of the schools. But by the time I got into high school, they didn't get replaced at any point. So
were they like easy to break?
It was just, I think it was rushed technology.
Yep.
And so by the time I got to like high school, they were being used. It was just the whiteboard situation,
And then they would just
and they project onto it and then write over it. It was never like
awesome.
using it as it was supposed to be, like projecting from your computer to the
it wasn't like just a giant screen like
it was
supposed to be.
it was all right. Here is what we're doing, and we're using it as a glorified whiteboard because it's in the middle of our whiteboard.
Yep.
And either that or it's off, and we're using the whiteboards on either side.
We had a lot of the those old-fashioned like refractor projectors where
we
it's
had
like
those
you would
in
write on the
school.
little film things.
Yes.
Yeah, so we use those, and then also
Those
just
are my
like
favorite.
just projectors with the little pull-down thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where I work now, they have cameras to project down to like a mat by the teacher's desk, or they could switch it to like their laptop, and then it projects, and they can bring a screen down, or they can leave it up. Either way.
Oh, that's fancy.
Which is nice.
That's real fancy.
Yeah. But it's literally just projection.
Just projection. Yeah, and then you just write on the whiteboard with a marker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which I'm like, yeah, that's the best.
I had a good time most of the time in school.
Yeah. For the most part, it was fun.
Learning.
I like learning about things I give a damn about.
Yeah. Yeah. And there were times
Grammar was the worst.
I had a good time with grammar.
Grammar hurt my head.
Oh, that's how I felt about math. I would be literally torture. Yeah, just absolutely brutal. Yeah, but but by my senior year, I was doing much better because it was in the dumb kid math, and like that I had my very last hour of the day. So I didn't have to they wouldn't solely.
Yeah.
The majority of my day. I just get through it at the end, and then I had a couple friends in that class as well.
That's good.
But what did I do my senior year? I had my DC English, history, and art, and then I also took crafts.
Fun.
I took a crafting class, and it wasn't like woodworking or anything. It was literally like we did silk screen t-shirts. We made like our own t-shirts.
Fun.
I made 2 Owl City shirts and a Markiplier shirt.
Of course you did.
I also made he's like, okay, check his watch. You guys have 30 minutes, go outside and pick up litter and then make a sculpture out of it.
I love that.
And it was great. I made the most adorable little sculpture. We made our own rubber stamps.
That's fun.
We learned how to do like some old, like the old medieval inking, like etch art.
All of our fun classes got cut.
See, it was great. We had 2 art teachers. It was him and then the other one that I had DC painting with. And she's still a teacher. I follow her on Facebook.
Nice.
And this lady has the most textbook art teacher ever. She loved her job so much, and she also, I think, came from a little bit of money. And so she had like an art society outside of school of like adults, and then she also ran the art department in the school, and then she also had like art clubs that she would fund and she'd provide all the paint for. She was also a very talented artist, so I think that's where her money came from, is that she had her own art hustle going on. So but our art department was great. Our music department, on the other hand, struggling. Choir got cut,
of course,
and so they like fought for it for a while, and eventually they let choir come back, but it had to be in the junior high, which was like half a mile away. And so when I was taking choir, literally every year I'd go up to my teacher and be like, I gotta leave 10 minutes early from class. I promise my grades won't slip, because I had to book it across town to get to the junior high to use the band room to do choir.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah.
So
our music, and they did not support the band either, because band had to do the same thing. They all had to go over there.
Our music program was okay, but mostly because of the boosters. We fought and clawed our way through.
Yeah.
Even though, football got all the money.
Of course. Yeah, it always does.
Because
Ours
it
too.
brings in
Football
all
and
the money,
basketball.
but they sucked. They sucked rock. All 4 years I was there,
We
they
did not win a
sucked.
single game.
You know
my
who was
entire-
bringing home trophies? You know who was winning championships? We were.
There you
We
go.
were bringing
Yep.
home champions. Was it ever announced? No.
Choir,
We had
and
to
then
fight to get it announced.
Our
That-
cheerleaders did really well,
Yeah.
but our football and our basketball sucked.
we had to fight for our things to get announced on the intercom for the morning announcements. It wasn't until someone had a friend who did the morning announcements, and they would say, "Hey, we won championships last night. Please announce
You're gonna
it.
talk about it.
Please announce it, because
Yeah.
we're doing shit over here." I'm like, "Stop telling us the football team failed again. We don't care."
We don't. You're bringing down the vibes. If you start talking about the winners, then other people are gonna have the headspace of winners.
Right?
Like,
I'm
they're
like,
talking
come
about
on.
band.
I'm like, stop. And literally, no. And once football season was over, they like barely said anything about any of the other sports either.
It's so late.
Like, we had so many sports, but like way back in the day, because I went to the same high school my dad went to, they had auto shop, they had wood
We
shop.
had auto shop.
Those classes were turned into JROTC.
Seriously?
Yep,
We had one of those too.
the only woodworking was the math construction class.
Math construction.
Yep.
See, okay,
Because that's
I was
very
like,
that's very much our area.
I was in a smallish town, but you were in a big city. You're like in a big ass city.
Yep. Well, we're not a big ass city. We're a big city.
Come on.
Compared to what you were used to, yes, big ass city. But like,
Wasn't your city the capital of your state?
no, not my city. We're right by that city.
Oh, okay. I always lump you into that city.
Yeah, no, it's like we're the
You're-
capital area.
Capital area.
But
Okay.
our city was smaller.
Wait,
It's-
hold on.
So it's the big city, capital city, and then it has a bunch of smaller cities around
Yes,
it. But we were a city. But yeah, no, all that funding will always get cut. It's always
That's crazy.
like we had to fight to get a new like music and band room, which they finally did. They got us a theater, and
Made it tough.
they rushed everything. Like the first like year, the roof was leaking. It wasn't done properly, but like we used it because we're like, we have it now,
That's what we have.
and so we could actually like put on productions. Like, it's just so annoying because we were the music and the arts department were doing so many things, and it would never get recognized in the rest of the school.
That stinks.
And they like this at pep rallies. Oh, the band's great. The drum line's fantastic. And then we disappear. We don't exist anymore. Like we had a grant from Andrew Lloyd Webber
Oh.
to do one of his plays.
Oh.
And they did Little Shop of Horrors.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We barely
You
got
have
any
to have
coverage
grants
of
for
it.
that kind of ish? Because ours did. Okay.
We're poor.
I don't want to throw my school under the bus because I got some school pride. But you know how like for sheet music you have to like buy them individually?
Kind of.
Hell no, man. We were just photocopying that shit.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. we bought one. We got one.
One and then you
photocopied it for all the students because they're gonna lose their.
because they're gonna lose it.
Like we had a library of music,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was stored there. But yeah,
I've got somewhere down in the basement, I've got like a little 3-ring binder of all of my illegal music that I got from junior high and high school, and then later on when I was doing some other stuff where they were like, at the end, you must turn in your music. Like, and they were like, we will hunt you down. Like, when they have your name, your music was numbered. That's
They
what
didn't
I
hunt you
had.
I have a little booklet of a Phantom of the Opera medley. Like, all has all the songs in it, like put together and stuff. That I was supposed to. My senior year, we did like a 100 plus year of Broadway, and you could audition for solos for shows that were not in the set
thingy.
list, or And I did Phantom of the Opera, and so I borrowed 3 copies of these and gave 2 to my friends because I had 2 other people because I needed a Phantom, and then oh, what's her name? No.
Oh, the girl.
The blonde girl.
Blondie. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so I needed 2 other people, so I gave them. They got them back. I still have mine. They never asked for it back. I was like, I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tuck this away. What are you gonna do? You're gonna come shoot me in the head? Like, what are you gonna do? And nope, they never did. Nobody ever came asking.
Yep.
And I still have all my illegal sheet music.
Yeah. Hey,
Because
they can buy
arts
another
are underfunded.
Yep.
Unless you have a teacher who is like really, really into it and willing to pay out of their own pocket, which is a shame.
We fundraised so much. We fundraised
We
all
did
year.
too. We would do, so every year our choir, we would do like a winter cabaret
Mhm.
where we would like, everyone would donate baked goods and stuff.
Cute.
And then, you know, people would pay to attend and we'd do like
Mm-hmm.
singing performances and that kind of thing. And yeah, all kinds of fundraising and stuff because, you know, gas to festival ain't gonna pay for itself.
Yeah, we did a tri-tip dinner and we did a crab feed. So at the 2 different semesters,
Oh, damn. That's
everyone had to
crazy.
do together,
Mhm.
and it was like you were required to sell 4 tickets.
Yeah.
Or 2 tickets. You had 4 to sell. You can get more, but you had
to at
to
least
do
sell 2.
to like qualify for whatever trip we were going on. Because if you didn't pull your weight, you can't come.
Yeah. Oh, that's an okay.
But the thing is you could trade tickets. So
Yeah.
if I sold 4, I could give 2 of mine to you.
That's awesome.
And like if you had siblings, like you matched up because like
Yeah,
me
'cause, like-
and my sister were a year apart. We're like, okay, so we have to sell 4. Who are we gonna sell to? So we
Mom
would
takes
be
one, dad takes one, and then that's cool.
no, because my parents never bought tickets because they were working the entire time.
Oh, gotcha.
They would volunteer because it was also you had to have a parent volunteer for a time slot.
Mm.
And if you didn't have someone volunteer once again, you wouldn't qualify. And once again,
That's bullshit. Because
No,
like,
no,
what
no,
about
no,
kids from bad homes?
it was
That's
another
bullshit.
thing you could trade.
Okay.
So like for me and my
Everybody
sister,
just had to pull their weight.
yeah, for me and my sister, my mom could work for both of us, and then dad could work for one of our friends.
Okay.
Is so like
I still disagree
And
with that fundamentally, but whatever. I don't run a school.
it was an 18 or they're for like the Disneyland trips.
Okay, so
The
that's the other
big
thing. We
trips.
didn't. Yeah, we didn't
Like
do that.
it was
like, hey guys, we're gonna go see Shrek the musical at the
no.
local city. That
No,
was
these
our,
were
that
those were
was
for
our
the big
choir
trips. Those were for the big trips that we did
Yeah.
every other year.
Yeah.
And so like if you like and it's a qualifier type thing.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense.
Like-
that makes sense.
Yeah, no. Not for like okay to go to competition.
Okay. See, that's what.
No. Those were obvious. Like you had your fees, but like you're going no matter what.
Yes,
Like
but we're talking like we're playing on Main Street USA.
yeah, like we're marching down Main Street.
That is so cool.
Yeah, we're going for 3 days. We're marching down Main Street, and we're doing a behind the scenes activity sort of thing.
So it's not cheap. So you gotta pull your
It was
weight.
not cheap. So it's like either you do it or you don't get to come.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, because it drove me crazy because a lot of the kids who like didn't pay it all the way or they qualified were only paying part of it and stuff were always the people who were buying the most shit.
Hmm.
And it drove me insane. I was like, you complained for the past 3 months of not being able to pay your way here.
Somebody gave you a handout, and now you're buying all this crap.
Yeah, to like, oh, or like we had like certain days where it was like due.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I need an extra day because I don't have the money yet. And yet we get there and suddenly you can drop $70 on a plushie.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like, it drove me insane. Anyway,
I gotta go.
we're yapping too
sorry,
much.
guys.
We need to get ready for our event.
We're having a party.
We're having a
We're
party.
attending a party 2 hours.
We're attending a party several hours away, and I need an hour to get ready. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for enjoying our rants about the education system and all that fun stuff. Drink water. Be nice to each other. The world's crazy. Be safe. Yeah. Love you. Bye.